I want to tell you a story set back in 1956 in the Hollywood Hills, a tale of above and below. If Wicked was the prequel to The Wizard of Oz, this story is the sequel. But it is not set in Kansas. It is in your backyard. This is the story of Griffin Scott, a curious 12-year-old who discovers something so dark it will change the course of his life forever. Griffin and the Dark Secret. The story goes like this. Griffin is fascinated with movies and special effects. Set in the Hollywood Hills, he discovers that sometimes what you see in the movies is real when he uncovers the dark secret of Desiree Ellsworth, keeper of the real flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz. Griffin is thrown into the middle of a great controversy as he enlists his best friend Weston and new friend Kat to help him save his neighborhood of Los Feliz from certain catastrophe and rescue the very creatures he just discovered. Now let's talk about the author. Curtis Scott Doty is a brander, marketer, designer, illustrator, and now author. His legacy is in branding networks, marketing movies, content creation, and social media strategies. Curtis has been a storyteller at heart his entire career. The origins of Curtis's tale of Griffin came from him growing up in Glendale, California in the 1960s. The boom of post-war building was still happening in neighboring Los Feliz. The LA River was barren, cats' faces painted on the storm drains. The red cars were closing down, but there were still a number of movie theaters on Brand Boulevard. Curtis was a film buff and saw many movies in theaters in Pasadena, Glendale, and Hollywood. He also watched a lot of sci-fi on television, including the movies from the 50s and 60s like Them, Reptilicus, Godzilla, The Blob, and shows like Chiller, Twilight Zone, and Dark Shadow.
Astounding beyond belief, the mightiest monster of them all. See Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
Curtis, at the age of 12, also rode his bike everywhere in Glendale. It was a different time in the 60s and 70s, and even more so in the 50s. Kids were on their own after school and on weekends. They just had to show up for dinner. This freedom led to many adventures and some dangers. Life in SoCal, gothic horror, sci-fi, and his love of The Wizard of Oz forged his passion for creating this unique tale of adventure. The idea for this story started over 25 years ago when Curtis considered, what if the flying monkeys were indeed real? What was that story? How was it separated from the L. Frank Baum mythology? Was it separated from the film's legacy? What started as a short story to spark a screenplay, Curtis decided over the long pandemic that the best way to realize this story was through developing it into a graphic novel. He engaged artists from all over the world to help him bring his characters to life. Curtis decided to self-publish the novella on Amazon under his new indie imprint, Media Slam Press. In the interim, Curtis has imagined and realized many of the settings that the story takes place in. With the characters developed, the environments painted, Curtis's ultimate plan is to create a series of graphic novels. This could be funded in a Kickstarter campaign, as comics are a popular category. But in order for that fundraiser to be supported, it is imperative that the look of the graphic novel be fully established so donors know what they are investing in. This requires a lead artist and a portion, or at least a chapter, fully inked, colored, and realized. Please consider donating to his GoFundMe campaign here. Let's bring Griffin and the Dark Secret to life.